Well, it's been a long time coming, but Iraq is finally paying a bill owed to Australian wheat farmers nearly a quarter of a century ago. The Iraqi government defaulted on hundreds of millions of dollars of wheat payments in the late 1980s due to the UN trade sanctions. But wheat farmers will start seeing some of that money later this year.
Australian wheat farmers have been waiting nearly 24 years for Iraq to show them the money.
We had many a meeting at the Grains Council of Australia where the delegates would raise it as an issue, and we would go and talk to the federal politicians about it, and they'd go and talk to the Iraqis, and the Iraqis said, we can't pay now, but we will one day.
After the first Gulf War, Iraq couldn't pay about $500 million it owed to Australian wheat growers for successive sales in the late 1980s. While growers got most of their money back in insurance, a proportion was never recovered. But after years of negotiations, the Iraqi government has finally agreed to settle its bill.
I think it's a real surprise out of the blue. The Australian wheat growers were never expecting to ever see any money again for those wheat sales made in the late 80s.
Iraq is to pay about $50 million to Australian growers over the next 17 years.
There's some 52,000 growers that we need to communicate in respect of their entitlements, and that will be a major task.
Some growers will receive less than $100, but it'll be worked out on how much wheat each grower sold.
At the low end, there's about 13,000 growers who we estimate will get a distribution of under $100, but at the high end there's several hundred growers who we estimate will get a distribution of in excess of $10,000.
Keeping on the right side of the Iraqis and taking them as honourable people has paid off in the long run.
The first payments will be given around July. Peter McCutcheon, ABC News.